Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm.
Dan, you've got it's like you're overmodulated. You're fuzzy on as like anything high end right now. And maybe it's me. Is got
my setting is where it normally is. I can lower it down some.
Well, let me see if.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. And I believe we're now ready to hear a tale about why Trey had to move twice in 2 months. If that is you're ready to tell it, Trey. Is it too soon? Is the PTSD too rich?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, Raj Sharma, on Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. All right, it's been a few days, Trey. We are ready to hear the tale of your apartment and what happened. Are you ready to tell it, or is it too soon?
Yeah, I can tell it. It's not that overly exciting. I came home.
The initial text you sent the other day sure was. It was a good hook.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I came home Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So I get home about 3 a.m. and I turn the corner to the hallway and I see there is standing water. Not a good sign. Hoping it's not mine. I then walk in, open my apartment, and sure enough, it is. There is water everywhere. It is coming from the ceiling. The animals are absolutely. Actually, Daisy was okay. Julius was just. He had clearly gotten caught on a little island, and then there's water everywhere, and he didn't want to get wet, so it was quite traumatic for him.
Shocking. The cat didn't want to get wet.
Yeah. And
I was really hoping you were going to say you walked in and saw the animals canoeing around the apartment together.
Long story short, it turns out that the person on the 5th floor, which is the top floor above me, I guess left a candle lit and it started a small fire, which set off the sprinkler system, which then, trickled its way all the way down.
Mm-hmm. And, I'm guessing then that the time that you've had between this moment and telling us versus coming, the next morning when you sent us the initial text, you've had some time to process it because when you first told us about what happened, your words were, and I quote, "Some twat left a candle burning last night and it set off the sprinklers above me. Now I have to move."
And that is all very that was 100% accurate.
Yeah, but also that text could also mean two things, like my apartment flooded or I just murdered my upstairs neighbor.
I mean, if I knew who it was, fact
Raj, technically, Raj, we still don't know that he didn't.
The fact that by the time this is all said and done, I will have moved 3 times in as many months. Well, you know, yeah, I could strangle a bitch.
Yeah. That happened to me in college. I just went down to Southwest Texas. My first week there, and my class was on Wednesday night. It was a 3-hour psychology class with Dr. Faringer. I go to my class, I come home, and I didn't have furniture yet, so everything was on the floor. And I had gone shopping at the outlet mall for all my school stuff and like all my new clothes. And I walk in, I just hear like when I'm walking, I'm like, what is that noise? And it's flooded. Like everything is soaked into the carpet. My clothes are all ruined. And they're like, well, your pop-off valve on your heater popped off. I'm like, I think that's its function. I think they named it that for a reason. And then when I was in Sherman Oaks, we kind of looked up in the ceiling and the same thing was leaking. There was a guy upstairs, had a 500-gallon aquarium. God. And he had gone on a business trip and the filter clogged. So he had to pay for all the damages and brought us, and this was very Americana, brought us a blueberry pie.
A blueberry pie.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even making it up. This is Asian dude just standing at my front door with a blueberry pie and he goes, "Sorry about the flooding," and just handed me a pie and walked off.
Trey, did the individual with the candle that caused all the water damage, have they brought you a pie or anything?
No, they have not.
Okay. Maybe it's still coming. Maybe this will be a little patient. Maybe you'll still get a pie or something.
They start another fire making the pie.
That would actually be pretty fitting. But you know, there is some good news. I mean, it looks like you got some. It looks like you were able to find someone to help you move.
Yeah, I've got the wonderful Amy Newman Mack here, my longtime best friend.
Nice. So what do they set you up at? Are they helping with the move? Are they?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you in an apartment in your same apartment complex?
Okay.
Or are you now living with Amy and Al?
No, I'm not living with Amy and Big Al. That'd be awkward. No,
at least they were able to move you within the complex.
Yeah, it's one of those. I had like 3 options. This was the best of the bad options, and I don't like it. I really liked my apartment, and so that's why I'm going to be living out of boxes for the next probably 30 days until I can move back into my apartment.
But you're moving back into this place,
the one that flooded. Yes.
Oh,
I think it's important though that we focus on the positive. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, Trey, but your apartment flooding and you having to move can have a positive spin if you want it to.
Oh, please.
So what you do is you just have to start telling people that you are such a good lover that you took a lovely lady home and you're so good, you flooded your own apartment. I like how everyone's heads immediately hung in shame, especially Amy's behind you.
Yeah.
She's like, that's never going to happen.
She's like, y'all are talking about what?
It would be like the better scenario would be he's such a good lover, he lit some candles, and the lovemaking got so passionate that he burned his own place down, and that's what set off the sprinklers. That's more.
I can handle my own fire.
right, I see all those instances, and I will raise you that Trey was such a good lover that the neighbor above him felt the need to light a candle. And it started a fire, and that's then the additional moisture into the apartment. Therefore, it flooded on 2 levels.
You lit a candle in prayer for the girl?
Yeah. Felt really bad for what was happening to that poor girl downstairs. Oh.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you love guns or hunting, you're going to love Defender Outdoors. Defender Outdoors Shooting Center is 43,000 square feet of guns, gun range, and gun fun. Firearms, ammo, apparel, accessories, and more. Have a bachelor party, birthday, or team building event? All-inclusive packages available for endless entertainment. Training classes are added weekly, and private instruction is always available. Come see why Defender has been voted the best gun range in North Texas 5 years in a row. Visit us at defenderoutdoors.com. Defender Outdoors. Are you a defender?
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Defender Outdoors. Defender Outdoors is Fort Worth's premier indoor gun range and facility. Beautiful gun range there on Shott Street in Fort Worth, and 6,000 square feet of retail space for your next firearm purchase or gears, optics, knives, all that great stuff with the outstanding people at Defender Outdoors in Fort Worth. Use the code Treehouse for special discounts, both in-store and online at Defender Outdoors and defenderoutdoors.com. This is the Treehouse Show. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Trey, unfortunately, the way that your apartment flooded is not going to make it as what I believe to be the stupidest story of the day.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But the one I have certainly will. So here I have for us today what I believe to be the stupidest story of the day. A Florida woman got arrested for shoving nachos down her wife's pants.
Okay.
Follow that? Yeah.
All right.
A Florida woman got arrested for shoving nachos down her wife's pants. 39-year-old female. Her name is Allison Swan. She's now facing battery charges for allegedly attacking her wife with a fistful of nachos. This happened at their home in Port St. Lucie on Saturday around 3 a.m. when all good stories happen. Meanwhile, Allison was playing video games in the living room and saw her wife making nachos in the kitchen at 3 a.m. The wife told police Allison told her it was too late to eat and made a comment about her weight. So they started arguing. Then Allison grabbed a handful of cheesy nachos and shoved them down the back of her wife's pants. As she was changing into new pants, she says Allison attacked her, pushed her against a wall, slammed her head into the floor, and she ended up with a knot on her forehead. She also said Allison held her down and used her fingers to fishhook her by the cheeks, all while telling her she was the one in charge. Sounds a lot like how Trey's apartment flooded. At some point during all of this, one of the wives managed to call a friend. They called the police, who showed up and arrested Allison for domestic battery. So again, Florida woman got arrested for shoving nachos down her wife's pants, and this is it. I believe we found it. The plot for the Caged Heat reboot. They're separated by C Block, but can they come together in the end?
When he first started the story, I thought it was going to be some kind of like new method of running out on the bill, like Gash and Dash.
and my thing is, don't the police have to come in and take pictures? Like, don't they, like when it's a domestic violence case, they have to come in and take pictures of your injury?
Oh yeah,
it's like, all right, let me see your butt.
Yep,
I got to see where the nachos went.
I'm glad you asked, because she tried to claim her wife was just drunk and rolled around in the nachos after throwing them against a wall. But parts of her story did not add up. And so when police got there, They found nacho cheese inside the victim's pants.
Yes.
So yes,
See-
Raj, the police did a very thorough investigation.
Well, and this is one of the things that, it's not just the guys that can't get away with saying something about a woman's weight.
I mean, that's a great point, Trey. You would think that in a romantic relationship, you would think a wife would know, like two women, right? Two women should know better than to criticize their significant other's weight.
And this is why the highest rate of domestic violence is with lesbian couples, because no, they don't.
Okay, well said.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Let's get Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the Treehouse. Their number for your free roof inspection, 833-COOK-DFW, the website cookdfw.com. The RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation exists to help the families of fallen DFW police officers and firefighters killed in the line of duty. And we've been very fortunate over the years to partner with some outstanding companies wanting to help. And today we get to add Cook DFW's name to that list of excellent sponsors to the foundation, because Daniel, you and your wife, Carrie, have said, you know what? We love our community and we want to do something to give back to our first responders in DFW, right?
Dan, that's absolutely correct. And, truth be known, Carrie has given to the foundation for quite so many years, but now at a company level, I think we are wanting to definitely, beef that up and start giving back to the foundation. And it's unfortunately, this is a foundation nobody wants to have to donate to, but it's the real world is that these things do happen. And it's the type of foundation that you don't want around, but you definitely want it to be, available to the families that need it. And so over the next couple of months, a portion of all the proceeds from the work done from Treehouse listeners that call in and let us know that they heard about you on the show, we're going to be donating to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation and making sure that we can keep that very stable in the accounting side and have funds available that when the families need it, it's going to be there. So we're very fortunate to be a part of the organization, and we look forward to trying to assist and help as much as we can.
Not only a company that cares about you as a client, but Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration also cares about its first responders in our communities. So give them a call for your roofing and restoration needs. 833-COOK-DFW. 833-COOK-DFW. Make sure you tell them you heard about them in the Treehouse, and the website, cookdfw.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get your free roof inspection to make sure your roof is ready for the next storm, call Daniel Cook today. 833-COOK-DFW. 833-COOK-DFW to get that free roof inspection, or go to the website, cookdfw.com. This is the Treehouse Show. I'm Dan. He's Trey. That's Raj. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. We were just laughing about the Florida wives getting into a domestic dispute where nachos were forced down one wife's pants in retaliation for a comment about weight or something or another. Raj, you had a very important detail you were wondering about with the Florida wives and the nachos fight.
Yes. Jalapenos, no jalapenos.
We don't know.
That could be the difference. Maybe.
That's one of the big details that was left out of this story. So we're left to wonder now: spicy nachos or not?
Because then you'll get some juice trickling.
You might have had that anyways.
Yeah, exactly. At least in the version of the story in all of our heads.
We do know their safe word isn't nachos.
I feel like this story. I think there would have been a even more violent turn on this if jalapenos were involved.
I think so.
The anger level would have gone up.
Yeah, I think it's yeah.
I think that would have gone from misdemeanor to felony. Yeah.
I swear, Florida just sounds like there's just an ongoing gas leak in that entire state.
Just no one will close it. It's like
they're just too high off the gas fumes. That's why all these stories come out of Florida.
Speaking of raising the stakes, we mentioned the other day that Tom Cruise's new Mission Impossible movie is coming out in a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not all, because there's been a new announcement made on the Mission Impossible front.
On May 22nd, I'm coming to the great state of Texas, and I'll be visiting Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio before stopping by some theaters to see you at some of the first screenings of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Then we're going to fly to Dallas, where I'm going to get some delicious barbecue before going to more theaters to say hello, and I can't wait. We'll see you at the movies.
So there you have it. Celebration. The announcement was made that Tom Cruise is coming to Texas, including North Texas, to visit people in theaters who are watching Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. They're calling it an announcement, but some of us may see it as a warning.
Yeah, that's if he's doing a radio junket, this movie's trash.
He didn't say he's doing a radio junket. He just said he's going to surprise people in theaters in Texas. Again, I don't know if that's a selling point, because some of us who still remember Tom Cruise, like crazy Tom Cruise back in the day, dancing up and down on Oprah's couch, talking about how crazy in love he is with what's her name from Dawson's Creek,
Katie
and
Holmes.
talking to Matt Lauer about how prescription pills are bad, and Brooke Shields isn't dealing with her postpartum depression very well. I don't know if he's the person I want to pop out in the middle of a movie theater.
Well, he's
following suit with like the. Sorry, go ahead, Trey.
Well, but he's decidedly less Scientology these days.
Yeah, and then it's following the Rock's thing. Like the Rock and Ryan Reynolds did that for Deadpool, for the last Rock movie, and then Ryan Reynolds did it, God, I can't remember his name now. They did it for Deadpool, so it's a pattern. Like people are doing that thing where they just pop into movie theaters. I haven't seen anybody make an announcement, so that's kind of cool. He is out of Scientology now.
They did that like in LA and in New York, which I can totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to Dallas and coming to San Antonio. I mean, I can't imagine the movie's bad, because I mean, Tom Cruise is the greatest action hero, greatest action movie star of our generation. Mm-hmm. And he seldom really makes a bad movie, and the Mission Impossible movies have all been fantastic, but that seems like a lot.
Just imagine you're at Pecan Lodge, and in front of you is a little man, but then he turns around and you're like, holy crap, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that probably doesn't happen. They probably shut down Pecan Lodge so he can get himself some brisket, and then they reopen it.
Well, maybe that's a subplot in the new movie Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Tom Cruise in line at Pecan Lodge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Terry Black's. I don't know what movie theater he'd go to, but I think he's screening at Fort Sam Houston. He's screening it for the troops.
Okay.
So I think that's like he's trying to, it's just good publicity, because he has left Scientology, and I think he wants to redo that image.
Has he left it, or is he's just not advocating for it?
No, he left because they're trying to get him back. Like they had like a whole team of handlers that used to go with him, about 10, 14 people, because almost all of like the big functions that Scientology would do, he funded. So there was a big thing to do. I think it was last year. He showed up in Kansas City on a rooftop bar for some couple's wedding reception and paid for it, and hung out and like did like karaoke with them, and bought like, drinking beers and having a good time. And he only had one security guy with him. And that kind of led to it opening up that he had left Scientology.
So Tom Cruise leaves Scientology and he becomes awesome?
Yes. And not weird.
Okay. Now I'm completely open to being in a movie theater if Tom Cruise pops out, because had this been 10, 15 years ago, seeing a little man pop out of a movie screen would have terrified me, because I would have thought it might have been the Leprechaun or Tom Cruise. Now I wouldn't mind it so much.
Yeah, I mean, also, if he just popped up out of nowhere, this is still Texas, and people still carry guns. Like, I wouldn't just pop up. Just the theater goes
Especially
dark,
movie
and
theater.
Tom Cruise pops out of the ground.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise fatally shot at movie theater in Dallas.
Well, he had a good run. Shouldn't have come to Texas.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Turns out Tom Cruise going to Texas is the final reckoning.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This is the Treehouse Show. I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. We were just talking about the announcement / warning that Tom Cruise is coming to Texas to surprise movie theater goers at screenings of the new Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Raj, you said you believe that Tom Cruise has left the Church of Scientology. Trey, you're doing some internet sleuthing and you think he's still in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's talking about, so he's in a relationship with Anna de Armas, and evidently that's probably one of the sticking points is they don't think she'll join Scientology.
She doesn't need to. She's doing just fine without them.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you notice, Scientology's actually been very quiet the last couple of years. Leah, what's her name?
Leah Remini.
Yeah. I mean, that show she did kind of torched them. And in fact, they're quietly still opening like a big new facility in Florida, but their leader, I mean, because there's all sorts of questions about how they get their money and forced labor and people signing everything over to them. And it's just,
and also that Brian Miscavige's wife is missing. The leader of Scientology, David Miscavige. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
His wife is missing.
Has never been found.
Yeah. That's why all the press releases I was just looking up about he hasn't left Scientology is from Scientology. So they're I think they're trying to be like, no, we're still cool. We're still okay. We still got Tom. So, I mean, who knows? She might be the one to get him out. I know that's why Katie Holmes left. And the messed up thing was she left him for Jamie Foxx, who was in Collateral with Tom Cruise.
Whoops.
Yeah. But she didn't want to join either. So I think that's always been every woman he's dated, he's tried to get to join. And they're like, nah, your leader's name is Ron. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's an old Bill Burr bit. He's like, really? Your leader has a driver's license? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got a social security card.
The whole Scientology thing, I'm always fascinated by it. It's like, but like in the real life aspect of the whole thing, just imagine all the women, including my sister, who had crazy crushes on Tom Cruise in the 80s. And someone goes to them like in a time machine and says, all right, I tell you what, I will allow it. I will make it to where you can be with Tom Cruise someday, but you got to join a wackadoodle Church of Scientology. Are you up for it?
Yeah. You got to sign a $1 billion contract. That
seems like a
legitimate.
long time.
I still find it fascinating that a bleeping infomercial that we grew up on for Dianetics turned out to spawn a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme, basically.
$1 billion, multi-billion-dollar.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Oh,
yeah.
I said million. So it's you can look it up. I think it's called the greatest $5 bet. It's him. It's L. Ron Hubbard and his buddy were drinking, and he said the only way to get rich in America is to start your own religion. And his buddy goes, "I'll bet you $5 you can't do it." And he's like, "Hold my beer." And he started.
Good on him.
Because he was just a failed science fiction writer.
Well, and that's what I remember from that commercial from the 80s, Trey, is exactly what you're saying. Is I remember seeing the commercial on TV for Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. And based on the art and everything in the TV spot, it just looked like a sci-fi movie. And I remember telling my mom one day, I was like, is that a good book? Maybe I could read that. Maybe it's like Star Wars or Star Trek. She's like, no, don't do that.
Well, no,
That's good.
I mean, it was always, but it's a self-help thing that you didn't, know that was a cult basically. And yeah, I mean,
that's the problem with cults. They never tell you up front.
Well, that's like Tilton, Robert Tilton.
Yeah.
His whole deal, how he started, he was at Texas Tech, and he had three buddies, and they were sitting around, and he could do the best televangelist of anyone. And, he took that and parlayed that into a multi-million-dollar business.
Okay. If you guys get a chance, watch, it's on YouTube, where Robert Tilton heals a man with a broken neck. Have you seen this one?
Oh,
I've not.
It's the most
I've
fantastic
seen the one
video.
where Robert Tilton has the farts. I've seen that like 50,000 times.
Yeah. There's a guy with it wasn't a plant. This guy was legit. Like, he had broken his neck in a car accident. So he had the neck brace, and I guess he thought it was one of the actors. So he's like, and he's healed, and grabs him by the neck and starts shaking him. And you can see the guy's eyes roll back into his head when he passes out. So he hits the ground, and that's when the oh crap hits Robert Tilton's head. And I'm not making this up. Watch the video. It's on YouTube. It is fantastic. He keeps going with the sermon that he's doing, and you see paramedics come up and just roll this guy off the stage onto a stretcher. He re-broke the guy's neck.
Well, you know what they say, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and he wanted you to have two broken necks.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you are listening to the Treehouse Show on 103.5 The X in Brownwood, there is the chance that you might miss some of the show. But there's good news. You can catch up with everything you missed by listening to the Treehouse Show podcast. The Treehouse Show podcast available on all major streaming and podcasting platforms like Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, and more. Everywhere you get your podcast, the Treehouse Show podcast, in case you miss anything here on the radio. This is the Treehouse Show. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Let's celebrate today with some birthdays. Miranda Cosgrove turns 32 today. She plays Margot in the Despicable Me movies, one of Jack Black's students in School of Rock, and she is the star of iCarly. NFL great Rob Gronkowski is 36 today. He's spent 9 luscious seasons with the New England Patriots and Tom Brady, and an additional 2 with his best bro Tom Brady as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Rob Gronkowski, 36 years old today. I realize that he's bigger and more famouser and all that stuff, way more than I will ever be, way more money and quote what some people would define as more successful, but he's really terrible on TV, and I don't know why they have him on it. Like the Fox NFL thing, some producer has got to be earning their paycheck telling him what to say, because I have never seen a bigger meathead in a suit on TV than Rob Gronkowski.
Yes, he is an idiot. That is just what I mean. Anything he acts in, like on those commercials, like the USAA commercials that he's with, like you can just see the disdain in Sam Elliott's eyes when he has to be across from Rob Gronkowski.
I will give Rob Gronkowski credit that whenever someone asks him a question on the Fox NFL pregame and he doesn't respond with "Meh," I give him credit. He had a good day.
Yeah, there's some people with CTE you don't put on the air, and he's one of them.
I don't know if he has it or He didn't have it to begin with, or have one. Anyway.
He just developed it organically.
He was born with it. The first child ever born with CTE. Anyway, happy birthday, Rob. He's 36 today. Other birthdays today. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is 41 today. He started Facebook out of his dorm room in 2004. Smartly did not name it Misogyny Book, which is what it actually was when he started it in 2004 with a couple of his buddies. Because, well, now it worked out because he's now worth 164 something billions of dollars. So he wins in the end as far as money's concerned, but questionable origins there.
Oh, I don't think there was any question. It was to rate the women on campus.
No, but if you think about it, the method for which Facebook came about, right? Facebook's origin story would not happen today.
Yes,
I think the university would have shut that thing down within 24 hours.
Yeah, Texas State would have come up with it first, but nobody knew how to use a computer.
Well, Texas State's version of Facebook, they didn't use faces.
Touche.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can get even more Treehouse when you subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Treehouse Plus, you get bonus content, subscriber-only episodes, including video, and it's all available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. That's Patreon, patreon.com/treehouseonair, and subscribe to Treehouse Plus today. This is the Treehouse Show. I'm Dan. That's Trey. He is Raj. Today is Monday, May 14th, 2025. Just a little bit more here inside the Treehouse today. A South Carolina man went into a kangaroo enclosure at a petting zoo to roughhouse with a kangaroo. He's dead now.
Sounds about right.
Darwinism at its finest.
Amen.
Really is. Eric Slate's body was discovered inside the petting zoo facility just before midnight on Friday night at the 5-Star Farm near Loris, which is 30 miles north of Myrtle Beach. Slate, who was 52, had a history of stepping into the kangaroo enclosure and roughhousing with it, which is what was happening at the time of his death. His brother runs the petting zoo that he died in. According to a local council member, he says he had a tendency to go in and roughhouse with this kangaroo at the petting zoo. And on this particular occasion, the local council member says it just went south.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen them, like videos of them fighting people. Like they're jacked. Like it's ridiculous.
They're deers who went to prison.
They really are.
P90X deer.
And it's true, Trey. You're right, because I mean there are so many videos out there of people fighting kangaroos. The difference is the ones that we typically see are the ones where the people come out on top. I think they need to get the video of this guy getting his ass whooped so bad it killed him. They need to release that so people see that you shouldn't fight kangaroos.
But we always see the ones where it's punches. The problem with kangaroos is what they're known for: the kick, the hop, the leg strength, and they have talons at the end of those legs. So, they kind of look like their feet, little velociraptors. So it takes one kick that either they're going to just crush your guts or, they might disembowel you.
That's right.
And they can balance on their tail and kick. That's also the thing. Like you're not expecting that. Like when it rears back on its tail, you're like, that's probably what went through that guy's mind. Is like, oh, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, along with that kangaroo's foot.
Yeah.
I thought we were just boxing. Didn't know this was MMA.
Now, I would watch Kangaroo UFC. I would watch that all day long.
Absolutely. I don't know why they let Russia have all the fun with all the random fighting and things that happening, because I've seen it with MMA on top of shipping containers. They have that in Russia. They have the car jiu-jitsu in Russia. I'm with you. Let's have a good old-fashioned American kangaroo MMA tournament.
Oh, yeah. Just let Conor McGregor be first.
No,
That's what I want to see.
Let's tie this all together. Kangaroo versus Gronk.
If he comes out of that ring smart. I just love it. This guy goes in the kangaroo enclosure, tries to fight it, and it kills him. It's like, dude, you clearly did not watch any Looney Tunes growing up. Because you're right. As soon as it rears back on the tail and just double leg kicks you across. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, everyone
game over.
Everyone saw that video where the guy saved his dog by punching the kangaroo. You know, they don't see the ones where kangaroo fighting each other and they kick like that. And no. But the gene pool a little bit deeper today.
That's right.
But the corners
it's a sad day for him, but it's a good day for humanity.
Yeah.
For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. You can also find and follow the show on social media. It's at Treehouse on Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. And for Raj, it's at Comedian Raj. Trey, thank your dear friend and friend of the Treehouse, Amy, for hanging out over your shoulder today. Hey, Amy. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Did she say anything about it? Did she like the show, Trey? Is it better than Craddock's show? Oh, yes. Yeah. We'll see you next time inside the Treehouse.